My story is still unfolding. The divorce proceedings and division of property are underway. My wife and I have been married for 27 years. We have 3 children, a son who is 25 and daughters who are 20 and 5. I am 50 and my wife is 47. My 3rd child was born when I was 45 and my wife was 42. I don't have a belly. I am not bald or balding, but on the contrary, I have thick hair, although it is already half grey. But my wife and friends say that it doesn't spoil my appearance. I know that women like me. I don't smoke and I hardly drink. Everything is fine with my potency too, and this is not bragging. Before this whole dirty story, my wife and I had sex regularly, mostly in the morning, as it was most effective then, since the body was rested. And not just once every 6 months or once a month, but at least 3 times a week, or even more often, every morning or every other day. It was quite varied. We had no taboo topics in terms of intimacy. I never cheated on my wife in all these years, although I had other women before her. I loved her, and besides, I am a little squeamish. I don't need just anyone, but she is my dearest. Everything about my wife suited me. I knew every inch of her body. I knew what she needed and what gave her the most pleasure. And she knew it too. So everything was fine in that regard. She also never gave me any reason to doubt her over the years. Not once, until recently. In the summer, we were supposed to celebrate our 27th wedding anniversary. I wanted to take her to Cyprus, but then this corona came along, damn it. But that ass small stuff. In February, I got something that hit me like being slammed face first into a concrete wall and then run over by a steamroller. It is all so banal, an office romance, and as I was told, it started before New Year as at a company party. I don't know how true it is, but it doesn't matter anymore. And what an actress. Anyway, her own colleagues turned her in. Some woman, maybe she was eliminating a rival, I don't know, but the fact remains, he is 6 years younger than her. He is 41. He has a wife and a 14-year-old daughter. He holds a position slightly higher than my wife as, hopefully my ex-wife. They first had sex right during a company party in his office. But I know this from hearsay. They were very careful. They didn't write anything to each other, so they couldn't be caught in their correspondence. But they let their guard down one evening, as I understand it. He didn't close the door to his office. They were probably in such a hurry to be alone. They were filmed on a cell phone through the half-open door. This video was sent to me from an unknown number. My first impulse was to beat her up. Fortunately, she wasn't home, although I've never raised a hand to her in my life. Then I calmed down a bit and started thinking about what to do. Should I confront her lover? No way. I decided to deal with him later. It was out of the question that I would no longer live with her, but what to do with our joint property. I have a company that I built myself, and I am not going to split it with her. So I decided to withdraw my assets first and then get a divorce. I pretended that I knew nothing. I don't know how I managed to keep my cool. Even my worst enemy wouldn't envy me. But I stopped kissing her after all that, and our intimacy ended. I said I wasn't feeling well. She was even worried when I said I wasn't feeling well and asked me to go to the hospital, but looking into her caring eyes, I wanted to hit her. But I held back. I sold my car, saying I wanted to replace it. Then we sold her car, saying there was a better option to buy. I took the money. Self-isolation helped with the company, at least one plus. I sent all the employees home, as you know, that's what was supposed to be done. Then I paid them their salaries and fired them due to bankruptcy. I also withdrew the money from the accounts. I started the liquidation process. At the same time, I started to register the same company in my mother's name. She is an old woman, already 74 years old, but she is sprightly. My wife knew nothing about it. She was expecting a cool car. In short, by May I had finished everything. We only had a large 3-room apartment in a new building left, but there was nothing we could do about it. There is also a country house, but we want to be dividing that house. My wife gave up on that idea. The thing is, the land belonged to my grandparents, and they had a house there. The village is gone, but the location is gorgeous. A river, a forest, cottages started to appear. After my grandmother died, my mother inherited the property. The old house was demolished. I built a beautiful, neat two-story house there, the kind my wife and I had dreamed of since we were young. We actually lived in that house. I know my wife loves this house. We planned everything together, planted a garden, flower beds, a gazebo, a swimming pool. But the land and the house are registered to my mother as an inheritance from my grandmother. Well, I didn't register it in my name at the time, even though my mother suggested it. Towards the end, my wife sensed something was wrong. She became agitated and started asking questions, including why I was unloving, why I didn't kiss her, why there was no love in the morning she is alive. After all, but most of all, I feel sorry for our 5-year-old daughter. I love her. I love all my children, but this little girl especially, she is our youngest, our beloved girl. And so, at the end of April, my wife and I had a conversation. She must have already sensed that something was wrong, because I saw that she was shaking. I showed her the video. She fell to her knees and said, "I am sorry." She was crying and grabbing my legs. I asked her why, what was missing. She couldn't answer properly. She said she had made a mistake, that she didn't understand what she was doing. And as a result, our son turned away from her. Our eldest daughter is torn between us and also condemns her, and our youngest doesn't yet understand why her parents don't live together. I hired a lawyer to divide the apartment and keep my daughter. She has nothing else left, no car, no money, no company. What did she achieve by destroying everything we had?